I have early access to Blade, the brand new duelist for Season 3.5, which launches for everyone on Friday, August 8th at around 8 a.m. UTC. But for now, here's what I've been able to figure out about the hero with some numbers to help you get started. Blade is a 350 HP melee hybrid duelist with 2 weapons. The first is his Ancestral sword, which is on a 5-swing cycle like so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This deals 22, 13, 13, 22, 22 for a total of 92 damage. His other weapon is called the Hunter's Shotgun, and it has 8 ammo and it works in 2 parts. So when he fires at any target within 8 meters, so at really close range, it's actually only a single projectile that only deals 45 damage. This can headshot to 90 damage if it hits the head. As soon as the projectile passes 8 meters though, the projectile will open up and then 12 pellets will fly out, dealing 96 damage if it all connects before considering any headshots. So again, 45 damage at close range, and then you take a step back beyond 8 meters and now it does 96. And if you headshot them, it does even more. So the reason why it's weaker up close is because it's trying to encourage you to actually use your sword up close and then use your shotgun at mid to long ranges. Before moving on to his other abilities, I just want to show you his melee attack. If you melee with your sword out, it actually just acts as another binding for his swings. So it just does the default 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But if you have your shotgun out and you press the melee button, it now does a 30 damage swing. Okay, moving on to his first ability, this is called Daywalker Dash. This ability has 2 charges and it makes Blade dash forward 15 meters, and it changes effects depending on the weapon you have out and if you make contact with an enemy. So with the sword out and the dash, you end up doing a whirlwind slash like so. You have to make sure you continue holding W or forward while you do it, because if not, you're just going to boop them back and then miss out on some of the whirlwind swings. So for the numbers, when you dash and make contact, it'll initially do 20 damage into a 15, 15, 15, 15, so 60 there, so a total of 80 damage. It also applies a slow for like 1 second. If your gun is out and you do the Daywalker dash, you'll dash forward, boop them back for 20 damage, and automatically shoot once for another 20 damage and apply a 40% reduced healing effect for about 3.5 seconds. One thing to note is that this auto shot does not consume ammo, and it'll still fire even if you have like 0 ammo left. This ability has an 8-second cooldown per charge. The next ability is called Bloodline Awakening, or as the kids call it, aura farming. When you turn on the aura, every sword swing will start building attack speed stacks. You can see it in the center of the screen, and after the standard 5-swing rotation, you get a free whirlwind slash. The damage is actually the same. It does the 22, 13, 13, 22, 22, so the standard 92 damage subtotal that we explained earlier in the video, but then that free whirlwind slash that comes out deals 15, 15, 30, so the total damage combo is about 152 per rotation. Now, the attack speed stack will only build on the standard sword swing. You can see that the whirlwind swing does not add any stacks, and you decay 1 stack per second. However, if you use your dash and use the whirlwind that comes from that ability, that whirlwind does add attack speed slashes. So watch carefully again. I do my standard swings in the aura and get the auto whirlwind. I get no stacks, back down to 0, and here we just dash, get the whirlwind, and then bam, look at the stacks go up. Alright, other aspects of the aura farm. He does get a 35% lifesteal. So each swing here, again, it does 22, 13, 13, 22, 22. So if you do the math on how much he's healing per swing, it works out to about 35%. Now for the downsides of the aura, he receives 40% less healing from all sources, so teammates and these health packs. Blade's next ability is called Scarlet Shroud. You can parry with your Ancestral sword to briefly become unstoppable, take reduced damage, and decrease the cooldown of Daywalker Dash. So it works by simply pressing and holding the button for up to 2.5 seconds of charge resource here, and then it goes on a 3-second cooldown after you deactivate it, or if the resource meter runs out, and it'll take 8 seconds to fully refill. When you initially activate Scarlet Shroud, you briefly become unstoppable, and you can tell because your HP bar glows yellow very briefly, and that brief moment is all you need to not be hit with any crowd control abilities. So for example, if you time this parry, you can actually stop Jeff's ultimate from swallowing you up as an example, because obviously he can't eat anybody who has the unstoppable effect or that glowing yellow HP bar effect. Now, during the Scarlet Shroud parry, all projectiles will deal 80% reduced damage. Easy math is these bots deal 25 damage normally, but it's only dealing 5 damage here instead while the parry is up. And the last part is that every time you parry a projectile, it reduces the cooldown of Daywalker dash by 1 second. Now finally, moving on to his ultimate, the 1000-fold slash. This ability is quite easy to understand. You activate it and then Blade will begin charging up, and then after he dashes, it will deal 100 initial damage and then 450 damage over time in the area he passed through, and he'll apply a 40% healing reduction. It looks like the minimum distance is about 12.5 meters with a maximum charge travel distance of 25 meters. You can also cast it in any direction, including the air. Now, one thing I noticed with the healing reduction is that it actually adds up quite a bit. Maybe it won't affect someone like Luna as much because she heals like 250 HP per second, and same with Cloak and Dagger, but someone like Invisible Woman, whose ultimate healing is only like 165 HP per second, that 40% reduction when coupled with some shotgun shots, or if any other teammates are shooting at them, can actually kill through it pretty reliably. Now, I was playing around with the ultimate, and I actually think the fast cast of the version of it with the 100 initial damage is really good in close 1v1s, because when you use that burst damage along with that reduced healing the enemy gets, it's more than enough to confirm a kill. Additionally, you can also be in the Bloodline Awakening aura state and give yourself 35% life steals. When you use your ultimate, that burst damage and all the slashes will actually heal you like crazy. Alright, the final section of Blade is his team up with Cloak and Dagger called New Moon. If you're familiar with Moon Knight, this is pretty much the same ability. It's an invisible realm on the battlefield that lets Blade shoot his gun from, and you can actually see the bullet trail, but obviously shooting it won't reveal him or anything. But the biggest benefit of this ability is that Blade gets a free dash and swing that deals 60 damage onto any target within 20 meters. Again, it won't consume a Daywalker dash cooldown because it's free with the team up. That means you could do some fun stuff like maybe free dash into one target and then Daywalker dash into another to cover some distance, and maybe pop your ultimate after as well. You can cross the map pretty fast like this. This team up ability is on a 25-second cooldown and it lasts about 5 seconds, so when it's all said and done, it should be on a 20-second cooldown. And that should be it, a quick 7-minute starter guide for Blade. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video.